Time to have a look through the papers for you this morning with the actor Harry Dillon and Yasmin Alibhai Brown from The Independent. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
I feel, Harry, like I need to say there's a myocardial infarction going on.
Oh, well,
very good.
Yeah,
I know exactly. You would have exceeded my knowledge already.
well, exactly. I've always said, we've got guys in prison now who are going to be there for a long time, young guys, terrorists or wannabe terrorists or whatever. We need to have much more psychological work done with them.
On the ground, absolutely.
We need to know what's going on in their heads. And it seems to me we punish them, but we don't actually explore at what point is the tip over, what makes it happen. It can't just be some imam, holy roller, standing up and saying, go do this, can it?
Let's move to the front of The Guardian. Here we go. So it's at the bottom. So essentially, we don't talk about suicide enough. And I think
we don't talk about the mental illness nearly enough. And then the suicide is the end road of that, I think, for a lot of people. It's a really moving story of a youngish man who had everything going for him. And I was just saying, in the green room that one of the, for a long time, the biggest group at risk were Asian women. Young Asian women were the ones most likely, proportionately. Now it's young white men. And we need, again, it may be related to what you said about the whole manhood thing. I don't know.
But we talk about it a lot more now. Than we used to, and equally with depression. I mean, that sort of used to be thought of as people saying, pull your socks up, snap out of it. People understand it's a real illness. So.
But it's really hard for anybody, say, in a workplace, to take time out for acute depression. It's really hard to tell your boss.
Sure.
It's one of those things. It's that there's still this block about. Does that mean they're not able to do the job? And there's an immense... I mean, I've got a very severely mentally ill sister, and I have seen, and it's not even prejudice, it's deep fear of mental illness, which is still there, I think. I really do.
Because we don't understand.
It's lack of understanding.
But they do say, I mean, I had some dealings with people who sort of work with victims and relatives of the relatives of suicide victims, who sort of say there is never one trigger with suicide. It's never just one issue. It's something which is built up over a period of time. And
if it's not linked to mental illness, I mean, there's another story of a young mum who killed her baby and then killed herself. It must be this idea that there is no door I can go through. I mean, this place and. There's nowhere I can go, and I have to die. And I think it's that sense of utter hopelessness which overcomes people, even stars, as we know.
Well, Robin Williams says just...
but also,
if this isn't case,
very often people are masking their true feelings, so that, that whole tears of a clown.
It is, and
in
you
public,
do find...
very violent.
I remember I was so shocked when I read Stephen Fry's confession of feeling so bad one night that he really nearly did it himself.
Yeah.
And you look at Stephen Fry and you think, how is this possible?
It's useful when people in the spotlight come forward and talk about it, isn't it?
Yes, it does. It helped. I mean, Ruby Wax, Stephen Fry. I think it has helped people talk about their problems. But being a star brings burdens, I think.
Yeah. Ruby Wax. It's interesting you mentioned Ruby Wax. We had her on the programme. It might be 12 months ago now, but talking very candidly about it, and I think it does have a real impact.
So
Iraq, the big question, of course, is going to be surrounding the arming of the Kurds in this. Yasmin, what's your take on that?
Well, I think it's it has to be done because this extraordinary way ISIS has taken over territories, and it is a very frightening thing. But we've been there before. We've armed fighters in Syria, and look where that will happen next. It's such a difficult situation. I wouldn't want to be somebody who has to make that decision. I don't think we have a choice. But we also have to accept that these arms might end up in the wrong hands.
If you like. There's going to be a point where we saw with black players, isn't there, where all of a sudden there are going to be quite a few on the scene, good enough, eligible enough, wanting to get involved.
Yes, one hopes. Though if I'm honest, if I had a son who could play football, I would never allow him to choose this as a thing. The cultural things
Why
are bad because there's some stupid things in our heads that we're brought up with, which is, I'm not proud of saying this, but you know, be serious, do serious things, a real job. It's such a part of how you're brought up. I tell you what will change minds. The big money, you know, when you begin to see, oh, you can make money with this, I think it'll happen.
Well, they are more than doctors. So maybe that's
There are a billion of us. There's got to be some breakthrough, right?
It's been lovely to see you both this morning.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. You cheered us up this morning.